Okay.
So here we are at the Cologne monument of commemoration of the gay and lesbian victims of National Socialism. So we have a little inscription here. This was erected in 1995, and the Zauberflöten, that is a gay man choir here in Cologne. They supported this, and it has been the initiative to build this monument came from the ÖTV Cologne. ÖTV Cologne, that is one of our unions in Germany. It was an initiative from the 1990s. And this inscription here to the gay and lesbian victims of National Socialism, this is quite interesting. So far in historiography, it has always been denied that lesbians have been victims of National Socialism, because the notorious paragraph 175 was not contemplated to prosecute women. But of course lesbian women have been prosecuted. They got different labels, for example asoziale, asocials for example, and other things. So it was possible, and it has been done, to put lesbian women into concentration camps. And there have even been a few cases in which German courts tried to put women under paragraph 175 into concentration camps, but this was rejected. Everything had to be done orderly, and paragraph 175 was not for women, so they couldn't be put into concentration camp under this law. You must know that in Austria belonged to the so-called Third Reich as well. In Austria, lesbian women have been prosecuted. The law there also was for women, and interestingly, this has never been expanded to the whole of Germany under Nazi rule. Very interesting fact. Now in 2014, historiography has gone much further, and now we know about lesbian victims of National Socialism. This is explored, and there has been a lot of research been done on it. But it's still some kind of taboo topic. There are, in fact, sometimes gay men who deny that lesbians have been prosecuted. It's a very difficult topic. But this was a statement to include the lesbians in here. This was done consciously. And as you can see here, down here, we have flowers. Flowers brought by the Cologne Social Democrats Party. In this Social Democrat Party there is a gay organization called Schwusos, gay socialists, Schwule Sozialisten. And once a year, the end of January, 27th of January, when we commemorate, for example, the liberation of Auschwitz concentration camp, where also gays have been in. There is a march, a commemoration march to this monument, and then flowers are presented here to commemorate the victims of National Socialism. We need to talk about the structure of this monument. As you can see here, we have the pink triangle, a very famous symbol. The pink triangle was used in the German concentration camps to label gay men. And gay men had a very hard life in concentration camps. Among the victims there was some kind of hierarchy, and gay people were on the bottom, really on the bottom. I think a little bit higher than the Jews. I'm not quite sure about that now, but gay men had to face homophobia in the concentration camps. But there have also been homosexual relationships in the camps, and systems of sexual abuse by the wardens and with male inhabitants and gay prisoners. So this is a very famous symbol. It's used all over the world as a symbol for gay liberation movement. Okay, and we have a little inscription here as well. This is saying totgeschlagen, totgeschwiegen, killed, and never been talked about. This is a very interesting thing. After World War II, under the Allied occupation, the German laws against homosexuality have not been put away. They were still relevant, and a lot of gay men who have been liberated from prisons or concentration camps had to move into prisons again to fulfill their imprisonment. So we had this law 175 was still active in the 1950s until 1969. Then we had a liberation in Germany. Male sex, homosexual sex was allowed for adults between 18 and 21 years. So this was a very important step into gay liberation, because after then people could meet and could have sex without any prosecution, at least when you have been an adult. 1969 was a very important year for us, but it has only been 1994 that the paragraph 175 has been put away, finally. And this was due to the German reunification process. In the German Democratic Republic there hadn't been any law restricting homosexuality, and it was said that the citizens from the former GDR, they need to have the same rights as the people in the Federal Republic of Germany, so let's put this away, this paragraph 175. But that was the only reason. So
and
maybe...
What was the prison sentence after World War II? If you were caught new in, you know, the 1950s?
From between a few months up to a few years. And financial fines as well. And it was a very hard thing when you were sentenced by paragraph 175, because you lose your job. You are known by the police, and in the 1950s, when you did a profession, very often you had to present a paper from the police saying that you are all right, that you don't have any sentences, and so on. But of course, it was written there that you have been sentenced because of law 175, and that was it. So many people have lost their careers and could, for example, people working in the public service. It wasn't possible anymore. They got into poverty. And still today, there has been no rehabilitation of those victims. It is in progress. There are a lot of initiatives to come to rehabilitation, but so far it didn't happen.